Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. You be the judge.
Yeah, it need to be full well. Just like that.
I'll put respect on my name. Gina. So lovely.
And then she rides all the way up and defend herself.
You know, they will either watch your lifestyle or learn to live it themselves. It's not nothing that you can prove to them. Like, try Jesus. Try him. Welcome to Maybe We Can Help, the podcast where we give our unsolicited advice. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it won't. You be the judge. I'm Teja Royale.
I'm Sheena.
I'm Risha.
And listen, follow with us, guys. Follow us. It might be a kind of a tongue twister for some, but listen, this is the topic for today. Women who don't like men do not like women who do like men. And men who do like women
Who don't like women.
women who don't like
Men
who don't like women don't like men who do like women. Okay, so that is the
like. It means like bitterness.
Yeah, we're not talking about being
Their
your girlfriend or
orientation
something like
of
that.
Their sexual orientation,
Yes.
just in
In
bitterness
general,
towards them.
Like a woman, and we're gonna say so we mean both. So if we're saying women more than men, or if we're saying men more than women, we are talking about both. Okay, because some people in the comments be ready to tussle. They be like, y'all should have stayed on the girls a little bit more. Okay,
We're not for dividing.
we're not for dividing. We're talking about both of you guys. Okay,
For
so,
sure.
For example, a woman who has been hurt by a man, and now she's written off all men.
But she may not even know.
She might be unconsciously doing this, and that's very true. May see a woman who is uplifting and celebrating a man, and she sees that woman as almost like an enemy, or you on the wrong side, since they don't even like you.
Right. Or like, no, not all men. Yeah, well, not all men are
It's
bad.
a bitterness behind
Yeah.
that, and a man who sees a man who has been hurt by his mom or women in general, or who can't find a date or anything like that, may see a man with a woman who's loving on his woman and being good to her. And he's saying, "Oh,
And
you a
talking
simp,"
to her,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Or talk, that is the core of our conversation. So
Right. And when
now that
women
we
do
cleared
it,
that
they
up.
become pick-me's in the midst of women that
Correct.
are bitter towards men, and maybe men are present, and they may be agreeing with a specific point that a man may be saying, even if it is about women. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think people should choose their words differently when they
Correct.
say all or always,
Always
or
and
never,
never.
or
Correct.
or
all men cheat. Lies.
some the
Yeah,
ones
no.
that, and it's not even, and then you have ones that even break that statement down even more. They be like, well, no men cheat, only boys cheat, because real men don't cheat.
But there are some
I was
people that
like,
believe all men, no matter what
They
race,
believe
country,
all
whatever,
men cheat. Yes.
They really truly believe
They
that, and that is
genuinely
the
believe that.
core of their belief that all men.
And you
cheat.
could be a happy woman, happy in your marriage. You're like, well, he's probably gonna cheat on you, sis. What?
That's not always the case. Sorry,
And it doesn't
always
have
the
to be
case.
your reality.
Sorry, that's not always the case.
I know a lot of men hurt you, and you keep attracting the same man over and over again,
Because you will not
and you want to
change
take this bitterness
yourself.
out on your sister. But that's not the case, baby. It's not the case.
No, my prayer is that we heal. We begin to heal so
Yeah.
that we can see the world for what it is. When you heal, you no longer see things through your trauma. You see things for what they are.
Right.
And that can open up a whole nother,
I had asked, somebody asked me
perspective.
on a panel. They was like, dang. They was like, I lost my whole train of thought.
You was on the panel.
No, they had asked me about something about women. Like, dang, I forgot.
I know.
literally lost my whole train
I know
of
I
thought.
wasn't on this panel, but I was just scrolling through TikTok, and I just happened to come across this live, and this lady, oh my gosh, like it just spewed bitterness. I mean, spewed so much bitterness. She was basically saying, women don't need men. We're better off without men, and if the world didn't have any men, we would find a way to make everything work. We would find a way to reproduce without men, and we would do this. I was just like, first of all, I don't even get along with you. So I know we wouldn't last. So that can't be the truth at all. Like most,
Right.
if you're being honest, when you put women in a secluded area, sometimes they tend to
compete,
and be catty towards another, be
find each other's flaws and prey on them.
like it's not nice all the time. I understand her statement. She was trying to uplift women and and there was this one man up there. I felt so bad. I felt bad for him, but then I was like, oh, you just a little special, because because he was talking so bad about men, and he was just like, yep, that's what men do. I'm like, you're a man. She's talking about you.
Yeah, and the thing is, it goes and vice versa. The opposite can happen, because you have all these women's conferences and stuff like that where women come together and uplift each other. So, you know what I'm saying? It all depends. But basically, what we're saying is, it's not all the time where you put a bunch of women together and they just start uplifting. You know, so, and we know that y'all like, they just don't like women because they're talking about how. No, we're saying that can happen too. And a lot of times it does, depending on women. If you put it together, women with traumas, you know, it can happen.
Got it.
And vice versa, men too.
Oh, men. Oh my gosh.
You know, they start competing too. You know, they start having PP competitions, you know, so to speak, and you know, try to dominate each other.
Y'all see what y'all did to Russell Wilson? Y'all called him a simp and kept and you know, every time y'all called him a simp, he kept putting a baby in Sierra. Every simp
to show his masculinity.
You have another one.
I remember it was basically the man had asked me, oh my God, every time I talk, I feel like I forget it. Because when y'all talking, I could think about it. But it's basically, he was saying, what do you, as a woman, oh, that's what it is. It's two different things. That's why I keep messing up. Because the same man, because he was literally, I was the only woman on this panel, and it was like maybe 4 guys. And so he was like, because I was like, you don't have to talk to me like that. Because he was like, watch this. I'm going to ask her this and watch how she fall for it. He said it out loud. I said, first of all, I'm not going to answer your question because you're already starting off rudely and you want me to fail. You don't even want to have an understanding in this. So that tells me that, no, I'm not going to answer that. So if you ask me in a different tone, in a different manner, yeah, I will answer your question. But don't talk to me like that. Like, you don't have to talk to me that way. And he was like, you know, this is how I talk. You know what I'm saying? I had another man say that too. And then he was like, well, y'all must be used to simps around y'all. No, because he was like, what kind of men are in your life or something like that? They must talk to y'all like, you know, like they simps. I'm like, with respect, because they don't want to see me fail, because they have good intentions towards me. That makes him a simp. No, you literally purposely said out your mouth, watch how and those are the people that are red pill men, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't agree with nothing I said, which when he also asked me, you as a woman, what would you bring to a man's life that doesn't need you for anything? And I'm like, you already think you don't need a woman, so do you want a man? You know, because like, what are we doing? Like, why is that even a thing?
Aaron, can you explain for us what a red pill man is, please? Because I know you know.
It's pretty much a type of guy that it's usually a right-wing conservative, unfortunately, but they pretty much believe they're superior to women, and you know, they don't feel like men are ever the problem unless they just simps. They feel like they should have all authority over women. And you know, if you feel, you know, women are on your level, they're the prize, and you know, whatever. Some stuff I can't understand what they're trying to say, but it's just like you got political parties that's heavy, that's extreme left, extreme right. They on the extreme right in this situation. You know, men do get dogged for certain stuff, and I don't know if I like using the word simp, but in all honesty, some dudes are simps, if we're gonna be honest about it.
But what's your definition of a simp, though?
Would you call Russell a simp?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him a simp. They was calling him a simp, but that's more.
Won't
of
nobody
them
calling
thinking,
him a simp, but Future fans.
Yeah,
we saw y'all.
I think
y'all.
that was more of them thinking he was corny, or whatever. But I mean, no, I think I ain't seen nothing where I thought he was a simp personally. But I mean, if you married and you ain't leading in your relationship, like everything got to be the woman's decision, and I need you to do this for me, help me to figure all that type of stuff. Like, you got to be leading, you got to have a backbone, like speak up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody sit there and berate you, you know, but also don't be catty, you know, like some females are.
Spicy.
Right.
Say what you mean and mean what you say, man.
That
Like
goes-
stand on business with it.
I feel like that goes with this one panel too. This one lady believed that women don't argue more than men. Statistically, she believes, and said that statistically men argue more than women.
I like to see the statistics.
Yeah,
You know?
most men who are not like catty, because there are catty men out there. I ain't lying. Like
that
they
Steve?
don't want to argue at all with you. They'll leave first. They'll just be like, I'm getting out of here. I don't feel like dealing with this.
Let you cool off.
I'm like, right, or I'm gonna go play the game. I'm gonna get away from you. Basically, they try to exit stage left, mentally or physically.
Now, are you saying that based on some sort of study or based on your experience?
Probably based on my experience.
Okay.
Like Aaron ain't gonna argue with me. He gonna be like, you know what, you can have it.
Right. And so I can't say names, but several men in my life
Argue with you?
anyone,
Like back
any-
and forth.
anybody.
Like back and forth.
Mm-hmm. If they will argue their point and because they believe they're right.
But men and men do that too.
But that's
to
a little
assert
different, though.
dominance and then debating in general.
Yeah,
Sometimes when
that's
it's
a
men
little
and
bit
men.
different.
A debate, me and Aaron can have a debate, but like literally, like if we in a if we've ever had a heated argument, he's not going to tolerate that much. Like he's gonna be like, all right, you can have it. And
Again, I've had it both ways in
Mhm.
my personal life.
So predominantly though, do you believe that men in general are more argumentative than women?
I don't know. I don't have because I don't have enough experience with all men to know that. And then you have to understand that here in the United States, we kind of go along with what men in the United States typically do. And so it's just like to say men, we have to broaden the spectrum to understand that it's so many different cultures and so many different
do you think men should?
argue more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody should really argue. I think that you can have a debate in which you converse with another person on opposing opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And
When does it become an argument?
I think that
Yeah,
well, I guess just the definition argue is different than I guess my perspective.
I
on
honestly
argument.
think it's coming to an understanding is what you mean. I don't even think you mean a debate, like because you can healthily. Is that a word?
agree to disagree, or
yes,
either,
or even come to
Or
an
just get your
understanding,
point out.
or get your point out. You can do that in a
Yes.
healthy way without arguing.
yes, and feel heard.
And
you can
feel-
have
yes.
someone disagree with you, but you still feel heard.
Correct. I believe that.
Very-
And
very
you're
true.
not arguing either. You're not yelling. You're not being boisterous. You're not belittling, because
Right.
those are attributes of an argument to me.
Because
Yes.
I'm not one to. Because I'll have a conversation with you, and we
We
can have
know.
a long conversation.
Well, we know.
But if I'm continuing to go, is because in my eyes you're misrepresenting my point.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
just want you to know what my actual point is. If you don't agree, fine, but don't misrepresent my point.
I feel like when you are argumentative, that's more of you. Either you've attracted some sort of spirit, or you're in some sort of habit. Like something's amiss, because when you're argumentative, you don't care about understanding, and you don't care about the other person's point. And the thing is, you don't even really care about the subject. You care about. It's like you want to tear something apart, or you want to. Your intentions aren't good.
So what about when the Bible says, it's better for a man to, wander in the wilderness than to be, with a contentious woman, which is an argumentative woman.
I believe that men can be argumentative too, but women, because we are emotional creatures,
We're more likely to be argumentative because
I
we're
don't-
trying to be
I
emotional.
think we're
a little
honestly-
emotional.
I think we're better at it. I think that's honestly what it
Yes.
is. I think we can dig deep. Like women can be
And we
very
understand
nasty.
and we're thinkers, like
Yes.
deep thinkers.
Like if a man go low, yeah, that woman gonna go all the way to hell. Like she's gonna go for the gusto. She's gonna go for the kill. You know what I'm saying? So I think that women argue better, unless a man is getting like loud, like and over talking to her, or even physical. Sometimes women, most of the time, to me, argue a little bit better, because it's honestly meaner. It's just meaner or nastier than a
Yes,
man.
I think we're
So,
better at it, but I have seen some very argumentative men personally,
I've
and
seen
they
some sassy
and they
men.
like to do it, and it could be nothing, and they'll argue with you.
Right, but does that not make them, when they do it with women? I'm talking about arguing with women, though.
Mm-hmm.
does that not make them less masculine, or it just makes them assert dominance? Because, like, I feel, to me, in my opinion, I feel like if you're a manly man, then you shouldn't be going back and forth with a woman. Like, I feel like you got a little sugar in your tank, depending upon the situation.
I don't think you have a sugar in your
Not
tank
sugar
all
in
the
your
time.
tank. It's just a
I
little
think you
zesty.
can
You're giving qualities of a zesty-ish type character.
So you
me.
believe that arguing is a woman characteristic then?
Going back and forth and be argumentative. Like,
That's
you
arguing.
shouldn't.
You mean like back and forth as in like y'all taking shots at each other?
Right, and like you won't stop, like you won't,
Oh.
like nobody's taking it because she's probably emotional about something, and the man is more than likely the more logic, and he probably done thought about something logically, but you're still in your feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I feel like men step more out of their feelings because they don't even honestly always even know how to address their feelings to argue in their feelings.
Yes. I personally don't think that argument is a feminine characteristic.
Well,
Where's
the
the
thing
term catty and nagging come from, though? Like, you know, I
but
think
most
about
dudes
stuff
ain't
like
that with most dudes. Like them dudes that'll sit there caddy and argue and stuff like that.
I think
something up with them. They're
Yeah.
not. They're talking to women. They don't talk to other dudes like that because they know
That
if they
point.
talk to dudes like that,
It's gonna be a
gonna
problem.
be a problem.
Right.
So they talk to women like that,
I agree.
Right.
which is still some of the red pill stuff. And then
asserting dominance. So when it comes to politics and they're debating, is that also feminine?
No, because I don't feel like they're like. First of all, they keep it very professional. They're not gonna be screaming at each other's heads off over each other. It's gonna be one at a time. They'll say what they say. They may say it a little aggressive. They may say some things that may be condescending, but they're not arguing. It's a debate. It's a one at a time. You hear me, I hear you. Did we have the same agreement? If we don't, I don't know how they settle debates or the Senate things because I've never really watched one all the way through.
I think what the argument you're talking about is what Aaron described. Is basically men who like to argue with women purposely.
Women only.
Women only, because they don't argue with other men like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so then
'Cause
that
I've
in that
seen
case,
red pill
I can
men,
understand
like, what's
that.
his name? Light skinned dude, Aaron.
Myron,
Yeah, he argues heavily
he be on some other stuff.
with women. I mean, heavily. But with the man talks, it's different. It's not like he's not cowering down, but you can tell it's different. He don't talk to men and women the same.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like then that's not fair. Like I be like that's not. It's not.
I mean, I wouldn't say fair or not fair. I mean, I just feel like you're not masculine.
He got a different energy with
Yeah,
women.
you're not masculine
But he
at
feels
all.
like a woman. Also, he feels like a woman, and this is still the red pill stuff. They feel
Less
like
than.
y'all shouldn't be arguing with us anyway.
So shut
like
up.
I said, what I said. Shut up.
And that's crazy.
You should sit there because when they ask what you bring to the table, you know what they want to hear. I'm gonna come to you. I'm not gonna talk. I'm going to just fix your food. I'm going to birth your kids. And I'm going to be a great mother to your children.
And that
and
is
I'm going to
why
let you just sit there. If you want to go sleep around, you can do it. But I'll be right here with you holding the house down.
And
that's what they want to hear.
That's why when I hear that question, I automatically cringe because why are you even asking? Like, why? If you're asking me if I got all of this stuff, I got money, I can hire a maid, I got this, I can go there, then why are we having a conversation in the first place? I understand your point of view, so I'm going to exit stage left. Like, I've heard a man who makes a lot of money. I don't know what he does in profession, but he definitely makes a lot of money. I feel like he's in the finance industry. And he said he's a white man. I think he white because, you know, sometimes they be looking, Italian men sometimes look white, but I'm pretty sure he white. And he said, if a man asks you that, you need to run because ain't no man making 7-8 figures of money asking you what do you bring to the table.
I have a new perspective about that. First of all, if you have to ask that, then again, like there's something wrong. To me, that's a red flag now.
It
wasn't. It used to be.
I don't know,
but it is now because my thing is like, if I go to Walmart and I know what I'm looking for, I go get it. I go find it. I pick it up and I put it in my cart because this is what I want.
Yeah, they walk in Walmart, go up to the man. Hey, what
y'all
can you
got
bring
off of me?
to my
Right,
table?
you go look at this bread. What do you bring to the table?
can you
I'm
do for
bread.
me?
Did you want bread?
I will say
Exactly.
I tend to, not that I agree with a different perspective, but I tend to look at stuff from a different perspective sometimes. I think the whole what do you bring to the table thing.
I think that's for people who are lost and don't really know what they want.
No, I think everybody does it. I just think they do it in a different way.
Okay.
Because when you go on a date and you're trying to figure out a person, you're trying to see what they're going to bring to you.
If they can add or drain to
Wait.
your
No,
life.
that's not
different.
Me personally,
It's the same thing. It's just a different way. It's just a different approach.
It's a different intent.
well, put
It's
it like this.
No, it's not. It's
It's
the
a
same
different intent. No, when certain men, not all men, but when certain men ask that, they're asking because they want something. They want to know, like,
What you
I
just
don't know.
said.
I got it. Okay. So when I go walk to Walmart, I know what I want. I know I want bread. I go to the bread aisle. Me personally, I start to read the ingredients because I just want to make sure you're not going to poison me. And that's how I'm going to date. I'm asking you because I already know what I want. You already look like what I want to eat, so to speak. But I'm asking you questions to find out, are there ingredients in here that I really don't want in my
Instead
system?
of going up to
It's the
bread and be
same
like, what
thing.
can you offer me?
Exactly.
Right. I'm
It's
not
just
asking
a different
the bread.
approach.
No, I'm asking to know
It's
if
different.
this is what I want.
It's different.
I know exactly what I want, so I don't have to ask. I'm asking you questions so that you can answer me. Like, okay, what do you like
just
to
don't.
do?
You just want them to say it. So basically,
I'm not asking them what they bring to the table. If I ask you, okay,
you are in so
do
many
you
different
like-
words. Let me tell you why. Because instead of saying, what do you bring to the table? You're going to go out. You're going to sit down. You're going to, talk. And while y'all talking, y'all are asking certain questions that's going to tell you what they're bringing to the table.
It's to me,
It's the same thing.
it's finding out if this is if you match my criteria.
and that's what they're doing just up front.
And
But
it's a different
but you
intent.
know, every time
There
a
you
woman
have it.
answers that question,
No,
they be
no,
like,
no, no.
I can do.
In
They
that
have a rebuttal for
in
it.
that situation, there is more like a troll type of thing.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
different.
And
what
most
I mean
men-
is the actual question in itself. What do you bring to the table? Y'all asking that on dates all the time without
I
asking.
understand what you're saying, but most men who ask
I
that
ain't
question,
talking about the red pill trollers.
but that's who
'cause
asked the
that's all they're
question.
doing.
But that's who asked the
True.
question.
No, my point is
True.
they're making it direct, so you see it. But y'all doing it without seeing it anyway.
I don't think so.
When you go out on a date,
I
you
think
asking
that's
what
getting,
he do
no,
for a
but I
living.
think that's getting to know someone. That's not labeling it as I need to know what you bring to the table.
I already
but
know.
y'all do need to know that.
I just need to know if you're what I want.
I get what you're saying. I get what both of you
It's the
guys
same
are
thing.
saying. I get what both of you guys are saying, but what I'm saying is most people who ask that question, and you know it's true, is their intent is to rebuttal it all the time.
Well, I can do
I-
that for myself. I
That's
cook,
what
I
we're
clean, I
saying.
I
That.
can do that. I
My
can do
point
that. Yeah.
is, y'all still doing it
And
just
that-
under the table.
But that's why we don't like the question.
It's not a y'all. It's everybody, not just women.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
everybody does it.
And
Everybody.
you
my
got,
whole point.
in order to get to know anybody, you have to ask questions.
That's
you have
my-
to observe
that's
them,
my
but you
point.
don't ask, what can you bring me? What can you add
with,
to my
with
life?
the intention
With
of
any friend, you don't do that.
with the intention of rebuttaling and trolling, because that's what they're doing.
Now that I'm not, I agree with you.
Right, but like
That.
when we became friends,
But-
you didn't say, "Hey, what kind of friend are you gonna be to me? Like, what can you do for me? Can you make me laugh? Like, you just see if y'all
Okay,
talk.
It's
Okay,
asking the
Aaron,
same
you
questions.
mad.
Y'all
Do you
just
think-
You
subtle.
just exist with them. No, it's not. You're not
It
asking.
is the same.
Do you
Bro,
think
I feel like you
masculine
just
men?
existing with them.
Do you think masculine men ask that question in that form?
I'm not saying you should ask the question.
No, I'm
period.
asking. I'm asking. Do you think they do?
No.
Okay,
Personally.
exactly. So we agree that most people who ask the question are either like trolling or having a rebuttal on it.
They're just direct in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if I
It's an
sit
ill
back and
intent.
think, if they're not trolling and they generally maybe they're just direct, then fine, whatever. What do you bring to the table? I'll tell you what I bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the situation, fine, whatever. It's just that, like you said, those dudes that be asking it, they're
Yes.
looking to put you in a place where they can, I
Say
gotcha.
they don't need
Yeah.
you. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. So I see your point. But if they generally are just like, they're just direct and they're like, okay, well, what can you bring? I'll tell you what I can bring. And that's what it is. Then fine. But regardless,
But that's
It's
not,
the
that's
same
not
thing.
a getting
It's
to
the
know
exact
somebody
same thing.
question.
I do think it's kind of the same thing. Like if a person asks that, and they're really just like, okay, so what's up with you? Like, what can you offer me? Or something. I don't like the question personally. I don't think anybody.
It
should
just
ask
makes
it.
that person allude
I
to
don't
be
think
snooty,
it's-
like I'm better than you. So
I
what
don't-
can you do for
Perception.
me? That's what it sounds like.
That's the perception.
But I do. Think
That's my
it's-
perception. It sounds like
I
I'm better
know.
than you. So what can you do for
But
me?
all people do is the
All
same
people
thing,
do
just
it.
say it a different way. The same thing.
I don't think
With
we
Because
get to
if
know
that-
people.
It's the same
Just
thing.
different
intentions.
Yeah, I was about
behind
to
it.
say the
Different
intentions
Same
heart-
question, different intentions behind it.
depending on said person.
Depending on the person.
Depending
'Cause
on
some
the
people
person.
just might be direct and
Some
they
people
ain't got no
might.
game. And they just like, look, you just got to tell me,
That is true.
like, what's up? Where you work? Like, what you doing? You a good mother? Like, what? You know, some people just direct. But I agree, there are plenty of dudes out there that just asked it just to get a gotcha moment. Oh, see, I knew you were going to say that. No, see, you supposed to be doing that. You know, I get that. But in all actuality, whether it's friends, whether it's trying to look for a spouse or date somebody, you're still asking the question, just indirectly. Because you want to know the same information.
So asking the person, hey, do you believe in God? You know.
You asking them what they bringing to the table.
you bring God to the table or no?
Facts. It's the exact same thing.
Okay,
Right, but
I
feel
can
like
understand
it's
you.
Different terminology. You
I can
can
understand
say
what you're
that,
saying.
but I still disagree because I feel like that is getting to know people in life. That's how you network. That's saying I go around people asking everybody, "What do you bring to
Okay,
the
so
table?"
ask the
if I want to
question.
do
Ask any question
a
right now.
business, like so like any question,
Any question.
how's your business going? Like, how's your revenue?
So what can your business do for me?
Facts.
That's the same thing.
right? But
It's the exact same thing in a different way.
It's
it's not the
That's
same
what we're saying.
intention, though. Like
That's
that's what
we-
I'm
we
saying.
all- we agree that
when
none
you're-
of the
you're not
intention is
getting
wrong.
to
We
know
we don't
people.
know a person's intentions.
That's
unless
what we
do.
agree with.
So,
the intentions are all different. We
There's
don't know.
bad intentions, but in all honesty, look, man, the question is inherently bad.
Understandable.
It's just some people manipulate.
I can-
manipulate.
The
You know
wording,
what?
I
I
don't
can
like it.
I don't think
I
the
can
word is bad.
agree that it
think the
sounds
wording is
bad to what we say, believe now, because there was another statement that they have turned and that like it wasn't even that bad before, and now people have turned it and it's just like, oh, that's just a bad term. I forgot what it was. I was
They
doing
have
with a lot of
basically they have to have excuse me, put so much dirt on
so much stuff
on
has-
the actual saying or quote because people used to just use it to find out right away a lot of information in a short amount of time rather than asking asking one by one.
The scenario, if you're speed dating, you don't have time.
What do you bring to the table?
Facts. It's
And
a
then you
easy-
start naming
Even
all
on
the
speed
things.
dating.
Yeah, that's
I'm just
weird.
saying though.
I
But-
personally,
but
if you're
imagine-
dating, I wouldn't say
imagine
it.
if we didn't go through, if we hadn't seen. I understand what Aaron's saying because I mean I understand his perspective, because if like you would have to ask that question one by one. So what do you do? How do you so and so? How do you this and
Yeah, you have to ask
so
it instead of
basically,
saying it all
if you
together.
ask someone what, and it's actually a good psychology question when I think about it from a psychological standpoint, because
I
if you
still don't
say,
like it.
no, I don't like the term either because of what they turned it into, but I can
Yeah, I
understand
think
what
it's-
Aaron is
I
saying.
honestly
If they
think
had
that's what it
coined the
is.
phrase, it wouldn't be that bad because it's basically asking you what are your best attributes, and if you
And
ask
people
someone,
can lie. That's
That
why
is true,
it's
but-
good to observe and get to know the person.
that is
That's
true.
what
But
I
if you
feel.
ask
I
someone what
agree.
they bring to the table and
They can tell you anything.
and you don't have any intentions either way behind it, you are going to talk to them about what is most important to you and what values you find about yourself that would add value to another person's life. That's what you would normally talk about. And you can tell in the first 5 minutes of you talking after I asked that question, what are the most valuable things about you to you? So it's not a bad question. They have just tossed so much dirt
Turned,
on it.
yeah.
They've turned it into something else.
That's what they try to do with the word toxic masculinity, but we
Yeah.
found out toxic masculinity ain't a real thing.
Because
You're
if
just
I ask you one by one the questions I want to hear, that doesn't tell me what you hold value to. You might not even hold value to your job. That might be one of the last things you talk about. If I say, what do you bring to the table? You might say, well, I bring God to the table. I love to pray. I'm a praying wife. I believe in having being loyal. I believe in whatever. Or you could be like, well, I make 7 figures a year, and
You list what you value.
You're listing what's valuable to you without me having to ask you one by one and not knowing which one is more valuable to you. So I don't think it's a
No,
bad.
There it is.
Be quiet.
She gets it.
No, but you be quiet. You giving these people psychological stuff that they can manipulate other people with.
I'm just saying that it's if you're not offended by the question itself, it's basically just a way to get you to talk about what's valuable to you without me having to try to get out of you what I think should be valuable. Like, so what do? That if I ask you what you do, that's valuable to me. And you will answer that question, but that doesn't mean it's valuable to you. And then I'm like, ooh, she does this, she does that, and I can twist that however I want. But if I just ask you to tell me about you, you're going to list what's valuable to you. Yeah. But
Well, there you go.
Cut that out. Don't let nobody hear that good stuff. Don't let.
But I'm just saying the issue is we get so caught up in what the social media is talking about, and
Oh,
now,
yeah, that we
you
miss
know,
the point.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, come on, it's not everything is bad, but people on social media,
They
news, all
coined
the
it
they
as a
made
bad
it,
thing.
They have
turned
coined it
into
bad.
this
I mean,
thing.
you know, they took the rainbows.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's
like,
still it's a symbol
of pride,
it came from God,
which it came from the devil.
well, that's
but you know, whatever. But regardless, the question in itself, I don't think is bad. People just use it wrong.
yes,
They use it as a gotcha
I
moment.
can agree
but
with that. I understood.
They do use it wrong. I
yeah,
agree.
they use it a gotcha moment. But if you really are generally just you direct and like, hey, you know, why waste time on a date when I'm gonna tell you the same stuff? Just it's gonna take 2-3 hours.
Yeah, that's a great way. I don't even think you should
That's why
you
I
should
don't
ask
go on a
individual
date
questions.
until we have conversations anyway.
That part. Yeah, that's yeah.
And you can still have conversations. Like you can once you know, okay, what you all that stuff. Now, okay, well let's dig into these different things. Then I know what you know about. I know some stuff that we can talk about, and maybe I identify on these levels with you on different things. And you know, it's not a
Yeah.
bad question.
If
It's
you,
just I wouldn't ask it, guys. Don't go out there and ask it because no offense,
People
y'all
are
saw what
offended
they
by this
did. Y'all
question.
saw how they reacted when I said it wasn't a bad question. So that's the first reaction you're gonna get, and they're not gonna give you a chance to explain it. So don't ask it.
yeah, that's true because of what people
Don't
have
ask
done.
me.
Gave him
But
Because
it's not
of
a
what
bad
people have
question.
done to the because of what people have done to the phrase, it's offensive at this point.
I saw a TikTok video of this lady, and they were going in on this lady. So this lady, she is happily married, and she just all she did was she said, I got up this morning and I gave my man some good loving, and you know what he went out there and did? He cut the grass. He got all of his chores done, and like she was basically listening to everything she did, and they was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you had to do that just for him to get out there and cut the grass. I'm so sorry you had to do that. And she was like, she did another video, and she was like, I don't know why women are telling me sorry. I like getting my back blown out. And she's like, I actually like my husband, and I love being able to do that for him. And the women in her comments was just like, I'm so sorry, girl, you need to be free from that man. And she's just like, no, I'm very happy, and I'm gonna do it again. She said, I'm gonna do it again. And she makes, not every day, she doesn't make videos, but every now and again she's like, yep, this morning I gave my man some good look, and guess what he did? Like, she lists everything that he does, and she said, you know what, the thing is, on one video she's like, you know, the thing is, he was gonna do that anyway. I just made his day a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I was just
exciting
like,
to go.
yeah, she's like, I just made his day a little bit better.
Everybody ain't out here trying
Miserable. Everybody not miserable.
and looking for the worst parts of their partner to pick apart, and
Right.
you know, like some people really can see bad in someone, or not bad. It's not even bad. It's just flaws. See flaws in someone else and overlook them. You magnify them and make them the biggest things in your relationship, and you don't know whether he's good or bad. And then before you know it, he don't know whether he's good or bad, and then he start doing a lot of bad things based on the fact that you keep telling him he bad. So now he believe you. Now he out here doing bad stuff so that you could complain more.
We watched something, I forgot what it was, and all this lady did was complain. Like, she complained up and down.
Oh my God.
Around, I mean, complain. This man
Always find something.
like, he was like, yeah, I want to go on a date or something. She was like, but such and such wanted to go out, and he was like, okay, that's fine.
I mean,
And
just
complain I was just like,
for
lady,
nothing.
You know, that is this is another red pill thing, but I'm sorry, this is one that I agree with. That's when they talk about be his peace.
I don't know what that is.
be his peace.
Be his
Oh,
peace.
you said be his peace.
You did say
I didn't know. Child, I don't know what that is.
This is another red
BSBs.
BSB. Don't be out there.
BSB.
Everything ain't got whatever, man.
Who?
Yeah, I told a lady on the panel because a man was saying that, and one lady was like, "I'll never be a man's piece," and that's probably why I'm single now. She was 40. She's like, "I'll never be a man's piece. I gotta have my own piece, create yours, and then help you maintain it." Absolutely not. I'm not.
I
doing
don't
that.
think it's that.
Right. I feel like
That's
you
how
have-
she viewed it.
Right, but
that's
I told
that's
her,
what
I
she
was like,
heard.
but I told her, I was
when
like,
she heard that phrase.
you need to have your own piece. Yes,
Correct.
he needs to have his own piece. Yes,
But don't
But
interrupt.
the thing is, right? The thing is
Say that
when he
again.
goes out to the world, his piece gets beat down differently, because he has to face different things. When he comes home, be nice. When you go out and you gotta handle kids and do life, when he comes back, it's a balance. Like, my baby had a hard day. Be nice. Let me chill out. It's being each other's piece.
And everything does not need an argument.
Yeah,
You
or to
do
be
not need an
brought up.
argument or to be complaining about everything.
Yeah,
My God.
that could be challenging.
And when you
feel
hear-
like you want to fix everything.
When you hear, be his piece.
That
To
set
me,
women off too.
it's a trigger.
You can
It do.
find.
Set
Yeah,
women off.
that's because women are bitter, honestly.
Mhm.
Because why is that offensive? To me, it sounds like be peaceful, so that when he comes home, like, set up your peace, and vice versa. Set up where you're thinking about peaceful things, and your mind is on good things, and so that when that person comes in, you don't you're not ready to tell them something that they did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Soon as you see them,
Right.
like hey, oh my God, like, what I do now? Like, I need to know what happened, like, then you have to, say, get it back together. And if you did have peace, they call you happy, you marching around, hey, and you see them and it's like, oh, something's wrong. Let me figure this out, because you want a peaceful household. So now you gotta find you gotta go down a rabbit hole to just figure out what's wrong with you. Like, that's like when I say just be peaceful. If you are full of peace, when he lays his head on your chest, he will not feel the chaos that's warring in you. He will feel peaceful. He will go straight to sleep because of the peace that's on the inside of you. Like, my mother is a very peaceful person. She ain't even got to be in the room. You can lay on her bed and fall asleep because her spirit is peaceful and her spirit lingers wherever she's been. And like, you just want to lay your head on her shoulder or on her lap or be near her because of the peace you feel. Everybody's not like that. Some people just full of chaos and
drama,
and it's just like everywhere they go and everything that they do is drama filled, and you don't even know. You're so tense and you walk around eggshells and you feel like you're gonna explode. Sorry.
No, I agree, because have you
Been
seen
there.
like people who be like, oh, I'm just bored in this relationship, and somebody like they be like, girl, that's peaceful. Like, they're confusing.
They don't know how to have peace.
Yeah, they're confusing boredom and like and peace.
It's nothing. It's when nothing's happening.
Yeah,
You don't do anything. You don't go anywhere. That means I'm peaceful. I'm content. I don't have to go looking
for
for something to do or something to be in. I'm content with myself, with,
And it's not a bad exchange either to be a man's piece. Like, people act like it's the world. Oh my
For
God,
the right
gotta
man.
be right. And I
For the
think
right man.
because their piece have been
Robbed.
abused for like a man that may have did them wrong and they never recovered fully
That's
to the
kinda what
person
it
they
is.
were. Which when you go through a heartbreak, you'll never be the same. It's
I
impossible for you to go back to the same person that you once were, and that's okay. You just have to find a new norm. But a lot of people get lost in that transition and stop, and then it's like, I ain't never letting that happen again. It's my piece or nobody at all. So then it becomes a defense versus just living to be free and to be, and to have peace, because you really don't have peace trying to protect your peace all the time. Like, protecting your
That
peace
part.
don't look like the same thing,
because that's
people do.
tense.
when your
Right,
when your
right.
peace is abundant, you don't have to protect it.
I
as
guess
much.
it's the thing with protecting your peace and defending your peace, because you can protect it by just cutting ties, saying, all right, this ain't it. But when you got to defend your peace, like, Like, you got your forks up. Like, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't even have to do all that. Like, calm down. If you do, then that person just don't need to be in your life, and that's
Oof.
okay.
That is, and it is.
You just walking around with let me keep this 9 in me because like figuratively, not
Yeah.
like literally.
Ready, pew,
you
pew,
know,
pew.
right? Like,
Ready
I'm
to load off on
I'm gonna
somebody.
say something.
But you
they
come for my
over
peace.
here. Right?
You're not peaceful.
And you don't have right. You're not even a peaceful
You're not
person
peaceful.
when you rely on those actions. If your peace is disturbed,
You know what?
if your peace is disturbed and you have real peace, you just move.
That
You
part.
don't go chaotic because peace. You can't get chaos out of peace
part.
if you have it.
Put it like this. I believe this because of where I come from and what I do. When you have an abundance of peace, you don't even lock your door.
Wait a minute. Now I lock my door now.
You don't have to.
I
you
love
talking
to
about?
sleep
You
with
talking
my
about
door
house
wide
doors?
open.
No. I'm talking about like spiritually.
Spiritually.
I was about to
Like
say,
you know how
wait a
people be like,
minute. Okay, so
my
we
peace, my
talking
peace.
spiritual. I went
Right?
natural
No.
real quick. My
It's
bad.
a metaphor.
I know,
It's a
okay.
metaphor.
I love
Okay?
you. Lost
Everybody
me, but I
lock their
got it.
doors.
I got
It's
it.
a metaphor. Like basically, when you got this little piece of peace, and it's all you got left, you feel like you got to defend it with your life. But if you literally have, let me see, you got a whole pool of peace in your backyard. You don't care if somebody come get a cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, like, you don't, if somebody is like, be his peace. Oh, you want some peace? Come here. Let me share some peace with you. Let me give you a word of peace. Let me help say something to ease your mind. I got enough for you to have some. But when you got a little bite left,
That
you
last,
come for my peace, I need this peace.
that
It's
last
like,
straw.
Yeah, you on your last
crumb.
little piece of
You
crumb
got
of
that
peace.
little crumb of peace.
Right. But when you have an abundance, it's like, here, sis, girl, I
crumb
got
of
some.
peace.
You need some. You need some. Here, come, girl. This what peace
And
this
you
Lord
and you
have
talk
mercy.
differently too. Like somebody got to be coming when you left. You be like, hold on, what's the problem?
Yes.
Is
Let me help
everything
you.
okay?
Let's get back to peace. Let's find some peace.
Yeah.
You ain't got no peace here. This is let me give you some.
One loaf left.
Yeah, but that's why I said people
Recently, I had like about 3 slices left.
you got
The booty, the booty piece of bread. That's what you had left. You had the booty
I
piece
got
of
to
bread
refill
left.
up on it because I had
right,
like
because
3
you got a
pieces left,
crumb, and so
Lord.
you feel
Oh, Jesus.
defensive. You creating a defense to protect the crumb you got.
That's true.
But when you got abundance of peace, even somebody could come to steal it, or in the room that don't have none, and you like, hold up, you ain't got no peace. Let me share some with you, because I practice it. I work up my, I'm pumping peace all day long, pumping. Just it's coming out in droves. I got some. I got a bathtub full. You need some.
Come get a cup.
I got a bathtub full. I got a pool full. I got a lake in the backyard that I'm digging right now, and I'm gonna fill it with peace, so that the public and the homeless can come in and get some.
Yeah,
That's what
so
I'm
it's
doing.
not a bad deal
Yeah.
to be
It's-
peaceful.
it's not a
and
bad
be someone's
deal.
peace. You just can't give your peace out to everybody, and that's what
Correct.
even the Bible says: don't take what's holy and give it to, the dogs.
yeah.
So
So
if you
Don't
give
give
if you
your
actually
pearls
are a
to
very
swine.
peaceful
Catch
person
your
and you have a non-peaceful man and you ain't married, just leave, sis. Like people who are not married be putting over too much. I think y'all put over way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be dealing because y'all ain't got no covenant. You ain't got no loyalty to that man, or you ain't got no loyalty to that
Get
woman.
out
It's just
of
these
there.
seducing spirits.
What the heck you doing? Doing all this stuff for this man who is not peaceful to you.
Right.
Leave.
You're gonna have a crumb left.
Leave.
Then you're gonna
For
be
sure.
defensive
Right.
over your crumb.
Please stop doing this stuff
He-
to people who you're not married to.
He-
That
he-
don't make
yeah.
sense.
He done pulled the plug
I
out
don't
your tub of
understand.
peace. Now it's
And
all
now
going
it's
down the drain.
All going down the drain because you let this happen.
Yeah,
You
true.
let protect. Now when you in your singlehood or even like when out not married, you really don't have to deal with a lot of people.
None.
Not if you don't want to.
Not if you really don't have to deal with nobody.
None.
And I think people be putting themselves in these predicaments and then pointing the finger at everybody else.
And then they feel guilty and don't want to get out of it, and they don't want to be the bad guy to pull the plug on the situation. But no, do it.
Be
because
your
there's-
peace.
Yes, be your own peace first.
Mm-hmm.
Put you first. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I gotta put me first, Lucius. I gotta put me first. Y'all seen that TikTok?
I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
did
I have
TikTok.
Taraji.
Yes.
I gotta put me first, Lucius.
No?
I gotta put me first. Yeah.
Taraji. Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Be peaceful.
Be sitting there in a cycle of destruction.
Mm.
Ooh. Mm-mm.
I'm very peaceful.
Yeah. Just understand if you do happen to hear a woman, you know, speak negatively about a woman that's esteeming a man, or a man speaking negatively on a man that's esteeming a woman, they just may be a little bitter or hurt. But it's not to judge them, but be understanding, because everybody don't have the same journey. And some people you do have to just let them have their own mindset and thoughts about it because they're so stuck in it. But just be like, you know, God heal them. If not, you know, have your way. I don't know what to say about certain people because I don't even know if you should pray for everybody. But either way, it comes with your own discernment, you know. So that's how I feel. Why you do that?
Right. What was that face?
Oh, I was just like, I'm gonna be my man piece.
Yeah,
right
here.
here.
Listen.
Clock it.
Listen. I'm gonna get one, and then I'm gonna be his piece.
Aaron,
One
you
day,
ain't clock it.
eventually, for me.
You gotta
Praise the
clock
Lord.
it.
Oh, it's coming. Pastor said so. It's coming. And children.
And them
You're gonna have to be their
children.
piece too.
Mhm.
Because when they chaotic and crying, you
Oh
gotta
my
be
gosh.
their piece.
Yeah, Aaron be my piece when that be happening. Because how many
And
were
you
nerves
can- and
sometimes?
a mother that has some peace, and that baby, you take that baby and you lay him up on your shoulder, and he get because of the peace of a mama. But if you you crying and you annoyed and you all you right in the same
Help me,
spirit as the
Lord.
baby, both of y'all just just
Just crying together.
right. Y'all now y'all crying together. But a mother that's rocking you and she has peace and you feel that peace and she's so happy to have you with your crying self. Oh, that's some peace.
Yeah.
That's a nice shoulder to lay on.
Mm-hmm.
Go be somebody peace.
Any last thoughts? If you ready to be somebody,
I'm gonna help
peace.
be y'all peace.
Mm.
Yeah, we gonna give each other.
I gotta re-up. I got
You gonna
3
be my
loaves-
peace, stay.
3 loaves.
You gonna help be my peace. You gonna help be my
pieces
peace.
of bread, love.
Yeah.
I can break it. Piece for you, piece for you.
No, you got more than
No.
that now. You went and got refilled.
You're right.
Remember? So you got more left. So now you got your
Why you
refill.
looking at me
Cause
like
you
that,
looking
Tay?
like that, like, yep.
You did. You got a refill today.
Yeah, I did get an IV. I mean, praise the Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, you took the little booty piece of bread and ate it, and then you got now you got an abundance of
Yes.
peace.
Thank
You
you.
can see
Lord.
it all over you. You look peaceful. You feel peaceful. It's good stuff, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, peace is a good drug.
Thank you, Lord. Be your own peace so you can be somebody else's peace.
That part.
In Jesus' name.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. Blase. Y'all know what to do. Follow us
on
all
all
platforms.
the stuff. TikTok.
Maybe we can
Instagram.
help. TikTok. Just
Facebook.
follow us, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of Maybe We Can Help. I'm Tasia Royale.
I'm Sheena.
I'm Risha.
Y'all have a good one. Bye.
Bye.